It's the Daylight Midnight Show.
Hello and welcome to the Daylight Midnight Show. My name is Greg and I like swimming, but I don't like sushi. First things first, let's make sure that the timer is running because no episode of this show will ever be longer than 10 minutes. Although to be fair, I don't need the alarm because I haven't got anywhere near 10 minutes with any of the shows so far in season 2. You might say I'm being lazy. I would rather say that I am giving you quality rather than quantity. Let's show off the outfit, roulette outfit then. Jurassic Park t-shirt proudly being displayed, and the baseball cap I've chosen is from Portugal, one of my favourite places to visit. When or if we'll ever be allowed to go back, who knows. Second thing second then, let's reveal our wonderful word of the week. I do a lot of reading, I do a lot of research, I come across words I've never seen before, and when I learn something new I like to share it with you. So our word of the week for this week is this. And I'm not going to try and pronounce it because I have no idea how to do so. It's a Welsh word and it means being homesick for a home you can never go back to, or in fact a home that never existed in the first place. So this is that kind of irrational nostalgia that you sometimes get where you look back wistfully on a place that you used to go to, but then when you look at it in reality, it never really existed like that in the first place. And that's relevant to me because I think I've reached that age now where I think everything was better back when it used to be in the old days, as they used to say. My body was certainly better in the old days, but that's a conversation for another time. So that's our word of the week. I'd like you to try and get into conversation as much as you can. Let's swing round to the Door of Delights then, which I must confess looks exactly the same as last week. But hang on, what's this? This wasn't there last week. What can it be? Why, it's only this week's topical limerick. So the story is this. Scottish viewers will know that it was Burns Night this week, which is always a big celebration up in Edinburgh and other places like that in Scotland. To celebrate Burns Night this year, a packet of haggis has been launched to the edge of space for the first time. This is a brilliant idea. A Scottish butcher named Simon Howie has teamed up with a group called Stratonauts, which is a wonderful name for a company. They are a space education and research specialist. It was a 454-gram haggis. It was attached to a weather balloon and it soared to more than 4 times the height of Everest, so it was 107,000 feet up. The butcher, Mr. Howie, said he hoped this unusual stunt would give everyone some much needed cheer during lockdown. Wouldn't have helped him with a bit of free advertising either. It was described as a Scottish delicacy in this report that I read. It was up there for 2 hours and 37 minutes. It covered a distance of 52 miles and they managed to retrieve it. They've now taken it back to the butchers and they're going to have a display cabinet where they will proudly show it as the first haggis ever in space. They're also claiming it's the fastest haggis in the world because they dropped it from 107,000 feet and it fell at nearly 200 miles per hour before the parachute took over. So a limerick about this then. If offal don't make your toes curl and you like to give weird food a whirl, you can now stuff your face with a haggis from space. I bet it tastes out of this world. It's got to be worth a B+, right? So from the Door of Delights, it's time to have a look in the brown folder, which of course has its own theme tune. Lacking inspiration, I will look at my notes. Sometimes I wear pyjamas and sometimes a dressing gown. Let's take a look at what's written in the folder that is brown. That's a work in progress, so don't judge me too harshly on that. So this is my little brown folder that I write stuff down in every week, just to give us a few things to talk about. Point number 1 this week, I have written Saturday-so what? Question mark. Oh yeah, you might not know this because not everybody watches the show at the same time, but I'm recording this again on a Saturday, which looks like it might become a regular feature because of other work commitments. And I was beating myself up about it during the week because last year I made the commitment that I would always record this on a Friday and put it on YouTube midnight Friday into Saturday. Does it really make a difference? If you're watching this in the future, you won't know the difference anyway. So I'm giving myself a break on that one. Point number 2, I've put start Christmas countdown. I know, I've got to confess, I've only just put our Christmas decorations back in the loft. But then I realised we're 1/12 of the way round already. We're nearly at the end of January. As I'm filming this, it's the last day of January tomorrow. So the year is racing by already. So I did have this idea this week that maybe what I would do is do a massive countdown that would cover the whole of the Door of Delights with about 300 numbers on it, and we'd slowly tick them off as we got down to Christmas. But that's a lot of work to put it on the door. It would stop me thinking of anything else to put on the Door of Delights. A lot of work. I'll think about that during this week. And the final thing I've written down here is conversation starters. Yes, a little something I want to go over because this I found by accident this week when I was looking around on the internet. And I think this kind of sums up a lot of things that I don't like about the modern world. I found a website where if you have people round for dinner and you're running out of things to talk about, you can look on your phone and access this website, and it will give you a list of questions to ask each other. So you're having people round, and in my mind, it's because you're spending too much time on your phone in the first place that you can't think of anything to talk about, but now you can use your phone to come up with things to talk about. I think it's a horrible idea, but the website exists, so I thought I'll go over some of the questions with you and it'll give you a little insight into a bit of my psyche. So question number one that they suggest for a conversation starter in polite company: is a hot dog a sandwich? These are the important questions we need to tackle. Two sides of this argument. I would say it is a filling between two bits of bread, so it could be classed as a sandwich, but I think a hot dog is its own separate entity. Question two, is cereal soup? No, it's not. Question three, what is something that everyone looks stupid when they're doing it? Do you know what I think the answer is? My answer would be kissing. If you see two people kissing, it's a very romantic, very beautiful thing, but if you remove one person from the equation and the other person carries on with what they're doing, looks a bit weird. If animals could talk, which one do you think would be the rudest? The answer's got to be a cat, hasn't it? I mean, I think a dog would lie to you to not hurt your feelings. A cat is just going to tell you straight out what it thinks of you. Next question, which mythical creature would improve the world most if it existed? I gave this one a lot of thought, and I think you've got to go with the house elves from the Harry Potter films. Because we all lose socks, we all lose pens, we all lose remote controls. If you had house elves, they would bring it straight to you as soon as you needed it. Everything would be improved. The next question, if peanut butter wasn't called peanut butter, what do you think it should be called? Now, I put a lot of thought into this one, so much so that I've designed a little poster for the product that I would produce. So I think peanut butter is very waxy. I think it gets stuck to your mouth. So I think the correct answer for this, peanut butter should be called gob wax. I'm going to start producing my own, and this is the poster that we're going to use. So the Daylight Midnight Food Company will be put into existence soon, and gob wax is going to be our selective first product, and I think we're going to add different things to it. So you can have an alcoholic peanut butter and a peanut butter with added vitamins. And I think we can put it up on the door of delight. So there we go. Without planning it, we have got a little something that we can pin up here. So there's a nice little space next to our Brighton and Hove Albion logo, because we're supporting them for the course of this Premier League season. You can't really see it if I put it there, can you? Let's put it right up there. There we go. Gob wax, the official sponsor of the Daylight Midnight Show. And I'll do one more of these for you. Which movie would be greatly improved if you turned it into a musical? I think the answer is The Silence of the Lambs. And I think it's such a good idea. I'm going to start writing it this week. Any spare time I've got, I'm going to pick up the guitar and try and come up with some musical numbers for an onstage musical version of The Silence of the Lambs. It rubs the lotion on its skin, or else it gets the hose again. So I'm not going to give you the website, but you can find it if you look at Conversation Starter's website. There's a list of about 65 questions that you can go through. That's giving you a bit more information about me without me having to think of something else to do on the show. So let's do outfit roulette then, because that's just about all I want to talk about for this week. So using the randomness of the Rubik's Cube to determine what I'm going to wear each week. Our first column is going to be the yellow choice, and yellow is my stripy jacket. Under the stripy jacket, I will be wearing whatever is black, and black is a dress. And to accentuate all that and accessorize it slightly, it will be green, and green is makeup. So next week you will see me wearing a stripy jacket, a dress, and some makeup. A rhyming couplet to end the show on then. This filming on a Saturday might happen every week. Whatever day we churn this out, the content's always weak. I will see you next week. Have a great 7 days. I could have said sleek. Whichever day we film it on, the content's always sleek. Too late now.